right, we're live. November 2023, Professor Matthews, Josh Matthews, coming to you from the middle of nowhere, and we're going to talk about movies that I recommend, all kinds of movie news, all kinds of movie ideas. I'm a professor. I teach everything under the sun. I've read lots of books, and currently I'm into film history, and I'm watching through 1980s movies. I'm going to go through straight from 1980 to the present. Well, I don't know if I'll go to the present day, but I'm watching the award winners, the film festival winners, the Criterion collection 1980s movies that I haven't seen. I'm going to make a big master list of 1980s movies. So we'll talk about that. That's my latest project. Welcome, by the way. Look at the chat. The chat will have questions. The chat will have observations. Usually there are great people in the chat who add recommendations. So I strongly recommend not just me, but the viewers of this. You all are usually very intelligent. And so a couple of promotional things. Letterbox sitting on the screen. Follow me there. I'll check out your profile. I keep up with it. I write on there 15, 20 minutes. I spend time logging what I've watched, so you can check that out. And Substack, I put a note in the chat about Substack. That's the best way to donate. If you want to donate, I'd really, really appreciate it. This is my little hobby, one-man show. It keeps things going. It's hardly anything to donate to for a year. So check out Substack and you'll get my stuff. And, you know, I think I'm just going to start writing long reviews. Letterboxd is notes to myself. The more I go to new movies, I'll just write up new reviews because I'm kind of hankering to write something and get it published, but I don't really care about publishing in a publication, so I'll put it out on Substack. And I did that with Martin Scorsese's latest, Killers of the Flower Moon. There have been a lot of good movies, a lot of movies coming out my way, at least in my local theater. Although there's an Alexander Payne movie coming out this week, and it's not coming out near me, so this is devastating. I love Payne. I even have a video about his whole work coming out in January, but if I get to his latest movie, I'll write about it here. Letterboxd is for notes. This is for maybe more polished reviews. So, yeah, and I'm just straightforward there. I think this movie by Scorsese is going to be one of the best of the decade. I was floored by it. I thought it was amazing. So there you go. And I usually, I throw out thoughts. So the blank slate shot, I usually throw out movie ideas at you about analyzing movies, recommendations, and so on. So anyway, that's my shtick. Now, what we usually do, as most of you know, there's movies from 1980s, by the way, on the screen. What the shtick usually is, I go through Criterion Channel, and they have movies they're adding to the channel, movies they're taking off. And it's always a great opportunity if you haven't seen these movies and they're taking them off the channel. You may never see them again. And personally, I'm struggling on streaming services. Some movies aren't on streaming services at all, including Best Picture nominees galore from the 1980s. Movies that are 40 years old or less, I sometimes can't find on streaming services. Why? I don't know. And they're hard to find on disc. They've gone out of print. The disc costs $50. Interlibrary loan doesn't have. It's a challenge sometimes to find movies that once upon a time, 40 years ago, were acclaimed. You just think about the movies that you love from the past 5 years. They might disappear. I was actually stunned, by the way, the other day going on to Amazon, that behemoth corporation, and trying to search for Blu-rays on there, which now is a terrible task because they are hiding some results. I'm told, I don't know if this is completely true, that they're hiding Disney or Fox, things owned by Disney. They're sending you to their Prime Video movies, and then you have to find the Blu-ray within them. It's very challenging to find certain Blu-rays on Amazon just under their search results. They are not customer-friendly or user-friendly at all. And I don't know if that means physical discs are going away, but I always buy them when I can. Or, these services like Criterion, they're still pretty good, maybe even great at this. So anyway, I'm going to check this out. What's leaving the channel? And I haven't looked at this. No preparation whatsoever. So I don't know what I'm going to be looking at. Now already I'm looking at this, and Suspiria, I did a podcast. There Will Be Duds. Go check these guys out. They're kind of fun. I like them. And I did a podcast, but it's a video. I think they had a video on YouTube as well about Suspiria, which I had never seen until a few months ago. Maybe it was just a couple months ago. And I think we did a little bit of a mini takedown of the movie. I think none of us liked it that much. But classic horror movie, giallo movie that you can see. You know, I like Sneakers, though. That's one of the sneaky picks. I think it's kind of fun. And it's a very interesting to analyze it, a post-Cold War movie about spies, computer hacking in the very early moments of the internet. Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd. I can't remember who else. There's like 5 to 10 other people in this movie. Ben Kingsley. I used to love this movie as a kid. I haven't seen it for probably 10 years, but I liked it when I rewatched it. So it's not a great movie, but I might actually rewatch it. I think it's kind of fun. Although I may rewatch it, and it's kind of Mission Impossible-esque in some ways, but I may rewatch it and hate it. So just so you know, I'm not like guaranteeing a good watch with that one. Oh, I'm looking at this list. Paul Schrader's Hardcore. If you're a Paul Schrader person, there you go. Lars von Trier's Europa. I haven't seen that. I'm going to put that. Actually, I will watch that too. Gloria by Cassavetes. So, some of these are in the Criterion Collection. I know this one, Gloria, is going to go on and come off the channel. I've seen it go on and off. But Cassavetes, people love him, and he is very good. What a terrible thing to say. Yeah, so I'm looking at this. This is nothing. Oh, there. Great. Matchstick Men. I think this is only on there for a month. By Ridley Scott, Nicolas Cage, Sam Rockwell. How could you go wrong here? Ridley Scott's going to put out a new movie this month, Napoleon. I would put some money on that Matchstick Men is better. It's very funny. It's got some fun twists. I like this movie a lot. One of my favorite Ridley Scott movies. If you haven't seen it, go for it. Try it. It's a fun Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell. Who couldn't love Sam Rockwell? Anyway, can't go on and on about that movie because you can go look it up. But yeah, in my 80s, oh good, in my 80s exploration, Entre Nous, not a bad movie. A French movie about 2 women who were in concentration camps in World War II, Jewish women. Then mostly it shows them in the 1950s and they're good friends, but their husbands don't like them being friends. Sounds like a boring premise, but actually a pretty good movie. And I keep discovering new good movies from the early 1980s especially. There are a lot of gems there. And this one's pretty good, but if you follow my Letterboxd diary, you're going to get like all these things I'm marking with pretty high praise because they haven't been watched much, commented on much, but they're really good. So I'm really happy with my 80s romp so far. even though some of the Oscar nominees are pretty well, I shouldn't say terrible. They're not great. Let's put it that way. So in the comments, yeah, Fat City, Carnal Knowledge. Please give your recommendations. You guys are good viewers. I haven't seen Carnal Knowledge. You want me to watch that? Mike Nichols. Mike Nichols is hit or miss with me. I don't always like his work, but sometimes I do. Oh, that's way up there. I won't go up there, but I'll find it later on. It's a good. That's an interesting one. Carnal Knowledge. 70s Gem. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Well, I could keep going. There's a long list of things going off the channel, and there's probably some good ones I haven't seen. Lots of stuff here. The newly added section, just to look at that real quickly. I haven't seen The Sting since I was a kid. Have you all seen that recently? Does it hold up? I have no idea. Sometimes I watch movies now and think, what was I thinking as a kid? I must have been an idiot. And sometimes I watch movies and go, wow, I loved it as a kid and I still love it today for different reasons, but still it's great. And it watches differently many ways. It's great. I don't know if The Sting is any good. Didn't it win Best Picture? Probably. So when I go through the 70s, oh, holds up in a superficial kind of way. Yeah. So maybe I should try it. The Lady Eve by Preston Sturges. Good. Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think Coppola. Your giant question for me was where does he go wrong? And I feel like it's Peggy Sue Got Married, which I just skipped over from that other list. 1986. I just do not like that movie. I wrote about it in Letterboxd. Dracula, not bad. Big production, melodramatic, but I think I covered that in the channel, actually. I think there's a video about that movie in the channel. Diary of a Country Priest, classic. Slow, brutal. Not for everybody's taste, but a lot of people recommend that as a classic. Scarface by Howard Hawks. That's obviously the original. The Brian De Palma version in the early 1980s is sort of kind of a remake. Not really, but it's the De Palma Scarface is dedicated to Howard Hawks. So you could watch that. I didn't love it, but it's a very interesting movie in terms of like Hays Code, pre-Hays Code, and depiction of gangsters, which the Hays Code really took a run at. You can't depict gangsters doing evil things, according to Hays Code. A lot of restrictions there. So this Scarface has some historical value to it. So, all right, Sam Fuller's 40 Guns. I didn't love that movie, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was okay. A lot of people love Sam Fuller. Certainly Criterion does. All right, it's not a great month for recommendations here. I feel like not a lot is going on, but they do have some great collections. In fact, their selection is pretty large. So I'm still subscribed, but I still love it. Oh, Dracula! I did not know that. Thanks, Evan. Dracula had the same production designer as Mishima. Really? Huh. I'm gonna rethink this. I'm gonna look for that production designer because that's really interesting. November. These are just new releases very quickly, and I said this: The Holdovers. First of all, I don't understand this movie. It's about a boarding school. Does anybody in the world have experience at a boarding school besides like 0.0001% of people? I wonder how Alexander Payne is even going to deal with this scenario and make it sort of relevant to me. Like, I hope it's relevant. And it's about a crusty old teacher, so this is going to be another problem for me, or a headmaster, I'm not sure. But it's Payne, and I love Payne. I love his sense of humor. I love his editing. So maybe this could be good. But it's not coming near me. I'm going to have to make a special trip to see it. If somebody's out there and can give me screeners, please do. but other than that, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand how it could have an appeal. It's got a theatrical release, and I'm really struggling to think about the box office here. Now, Payne can do what he wants, and he should. But this is a strange release in a lot of ways. So, you went to boarding school? Yeah, I'm sure somebody out there did. I just couldn't relate to this. But maybe I can. It sounds like it's a funny The Shining at a school. I don't know. Maybe not. So there's that one. The other one, and I know there's a lot of movies here, and I don't know them all. What's being released this month? I saw the trailer for Napoleon. Did anyone else see that? Did anyone else feel like this is worth going to? 3 hours of Joaquin Phoenix looking like a tough general. I'm going to say this is not historically accurate. I'm going to go out on a limb here and bet. I'll bet $10. Give me any odds. I don't care that this is not historically accurate. Just kidding. I'm sure Ridley Scott is meticulously detailed in his yeah, it looks like Gladiator 2. I would agree. Like, that is what I thought when I saw the trailer. This is like a new Gladiator with ridiculous CGI scenes that probably look nothing like the Battle of Waterloo, etc. Now, I'm sure it's fun. I'll probably go. I hope it's reasonable. I don't love Scott's historical epics, but Joaquin Phoenix, he does have an eye for scripts. I mean, he's picked some great movies recently. You have a very good success rate by watching Joaquin Phoenix movies. I mean, I really like a lot of his movies. So, maybe he's doing it for the money. Maybe he's doing it for the Ridley Scott experience. I don't know. But these are the two that stuck out to me. I'm looking at the other ones going, there were some interesting things in these not widely released Apple TV's Fingernails. This has Riz Ahmed in it. It's a little science fictional movie. I haven't seen it, although I should check out. I have Apple Screeners access, so I should check that out. But have you seen anything on here that looks interesting to you? Because I feel like movies are just about dead. And I hate to be the downer. For months and years on this channel, I've not tried to be a downer, but man, the new releases, compared to all the ones I'm looking at in the 1980s, and if you get 20 to 25 very good movies a year, you're getting a very good movie every 2 weeks. And I wonder if we have that. And the question is, do we have access to that? Because a lot of these aren't wide releases, and thus some of us don't have access to very good movies. So I don't know. I'm conflicted on saying movies stink or the wide releases seem like they do, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to be a downer just yet. I'm going to go to the chat in just a minute, but looking at December's releases, we have a Willy Wonka prequel. That looks very colorful. Chicken Run, I am looking forward to that. I will watch that. I like Aardman, although I don't know who's involved in this one, but I did like the original Chicken Run quite a bit. Very fun movie. Seen it many times with my kids. In fact, that's almost a go-to when my kids are sick. That's one of the go-tos to watch for them. Chicken Run. Aquaman. The Color Purple. Now, I watched the original. I had seen parts of it. It kind of held up. I didn't analyze it for its racial politics from, the 1985 version from Spielberg. It's very sentimental, obviously, with Spielberg, maybe too much so. The novel is way better. But now they've turned it into a musical? Now, maybe there's a Broadway thing that I don't know about, but I can't imagine the novel being turned into a musical. We do have Michael Mann doing Ferrari, so maybe that's going to be fun. What's Boys in the Boat? Why is that on top here? I have no idea what this is. This is another elitist movie. Is this a crew team? So now I've got a boarding school and a crew team. George Clooney? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this isn't great, but I'm telling you, pick a decade, go through it. 70s, go for it. If movies are dead for the next 20 years, we have enough movies to last us 2 or 3 lifetimes, in my opinion. So film history is immensely rich. And I just did a video, most of you know this, some of you do, that repicking the Oscars. So I'm going through every year, repicking the Oscars. Here's the movies from 1980, mostly from Letterboxd. These are actually ranked or listed by the top popularity, probably the most watched, I would guess. And boy, do Letterboxd users have a dark taste looking at this list between Friday the 13th, The Fog, Dressed to Kill, Inferno, Cannibal Holocaust. Good job, Letterboxd, cruising. The movie that won Best Picture is Ordinary People. How many of you have seen that? Kagamusha down here, unfortunately, and way down here, undeserved Breaker Morant. Every single person watching this should watch Breaker Morant. I do not know why this is so far down the list. Ridiculous Letterboxd users. Put that up there higher. Which movie should win Best Picture? So this video did pretty well. I was pretty happy with that because I'm going to keep doing them. I've worked my way up through 1985 or 6, repicking the Best Picture winner. And it's kind of a fun exercise. It also gets me to watch other things. And there's so many great things out there, as I said, from this decade. So you can't go wrong. And which one did I pick? I won't tell you. Just watch that video. Oh, I don't mean to click on airplane. But which one did I pick? I would imagine most people would pick one of these 3 movies to have won Best Picture from 1980. Raging Bull, Empire Strikes Back, The Shining. But we had some oddballs in the comments on that video. So there you go. Caddyshack. I don't think anybody picked that, but Kagamusha is a deep sleeper, people. This is a very, very good movie. I need to put it on the big screen. I think it would watch even better. And yeah, Ordinary People. Robert Redford directed. Hollywood, the voters who were, older people circa 1980s were into literary, sentimental dramas. And that basically is what won the Best Picture award. The entire decade, probably even back to the 70s. And the voters weren't ready for more like hardcore punk sort of movies. So So Raging Bull didn't win, and it's a great choice. I didn't pick it, but it's a great choice, as well as the Elephant Man. So I'm gonna leave this up here. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my letterbox page. Oh, where's my profile at? Oh, this is so much fun. By the way, very exciting. I have a kidney stone. This is only my third or something like that. Nothing's wrong with me right now, though. I feel pretty good. But I could double over in terrible, agonizing pain any moment. So that should make this very exciting. My diary on Letterboxd. Oh, I watched Back to the Future again. I hadn't seen that in 20, 25 years. No idea. I mean, I know the script is very well known, and it's a Model 3X script. The lines in this are tremendous. I thought it was really good. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was fast food film, and it's not to me at least. But yeah, there you go with all those 80s movies that I've been watching. All right, my favorite time for the chat. What questions do you have for the old professor here? Let's take a look at it. And the chat's always great. Yes. You're right. Netflix used to have a very good algorithm. DVDs by mail. I thought that algorithm was quite good in picking things for me that I would like. We don't really have that as much anymore. I'm not sure what service does really well at that. Certainly the big streaming corporations like the Amazon search results are not customer friendly in my opinion. Either in tailoring it to an individual's experience or sorting things out visually for you. The user interface usually is not great. So, strong opinion there. Am I watching Cure? Yeah, Cure 1997, whoever said that was the greatest movie ever recently, I can't remember which director. And then I took that to Discord. You can go to my Discord, and a lot of people said it wasn't very good. So I'm sure I will watch it at least when I work my way up to 1997. So that's probably another year or two because I'm in 1986. How long does it take me to watch 10 years worth of movies I haven't seen? Yeah, probably a little long time. I'll try Cure at some point though. I would disagree with the take on Dr. David, who I appreciate your comments throughout. This is great stuff. That Coppola, I feel like Coppola did very well in the early 80s. Rumblefish, you can't deny that that's a really fascinating movie. You may hate it. Soundtrack-wise, cinematography, the colors and textures, the jazz riff on the 50s rebel teen thing, all that is fascinating, and I think you should try Rumblefish. It's in the Criterion Collection. I also love One from the Heart, and that I realize that's a love or hate experience for people. We don't have a very good version of it. There will be a 4K version as far as I can tell, and when I put that up on the big screen, One from the Heart is going to watch, I think, really well. So among those, and actually the very deep sleeper for me for Coppola is Tucker, a movie I've always kind of liked about an entrepreneur / artist working with working around giant systems. Jeff Bridges is in that. I've always had a soft spot for that movie. I've seen it 3 or 4 times. I think it's pretty good. So Tucker, not bad. So Coppola, one of my favorites, honestly. At this point, I'm sure he's in my top 20 directors ever because of his, not just his 70s run, but everything, all the good things that came after that. I'm not subscribed to Mubi though. People have asked me that. Are you subscribed to Mubi? Is it worth it? I don't know. I've looked at it. It was pretty good, but I haven't subscribed. Hey, if you send me a donation, then I'll be able to subscribe. Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall. I had one of my friends stop me in the hallway and said, "Hey, you gotta go watch this. Let's go watch it together." Blah blah blah. I have not seen it. You like it a lot, Evan? New movie coming out, Anatomy of a Fall. I don't know much about it. I try not to read much about new releases, but I've heard very good buzz from other people. Will it live up to it? Don't know. So, I have not seen The Killer. David Fincher, The Killer. on Netflix. First, I have to resubscribe to Netflix. Do I want to do this? Not really. Why? I don't love their selection. I hate their algorithm. Strong opinion. David Fincher, The Killer, I just saw a trailer for that last night unintentionally. I gotta tell you, I think I know what the movie is. Based on that, I've watched all Fincher movies. I did a study with an independent study one time with a student. I know his shot making really well. I'm not sure there's anything new in The Killer, based on the trailer at least. So is he developing his art or is he rehashing things? And how much of a downer experience do I want to have anyway? Because I know what Fincher's up to, usually. Have any of you seen The Killer? Is it any good? Because it looks like his other movies to me, and the shots in it, dim, dark, long takes, subject matter looks similar to other stuff. So anyway, I wasn't too excited about it. That's what I'm saying. Ridley Scott is working on Gladiator 2? What could the sequel be? Okay, that's crazy. Probably not, but he should have made it 15 years ago if he's going to make a sequel. I don't know. Why are movies dead? They're not dead. I actually think they're better than ever. The best ones are better than ever. I'm not saying Citizen Kane is coming out every year, but the artistic development, if a movie maker is familiar with, one, a lot of topics, philosophy, psychology, is read widely, and then that same filmmaker is familiar with film history, this person has the opportunity to make some of the greatest movies ever, building off of Bergman and everybody else who came before. And so, I don't know, I see occasionally a new movie that is so awesome, it's incredible. A Scorsese movie. I thought the new Ari Aster movie was fantastic. So, I don't think they're dead. And there's no way. I think enough people are are into movies. The problem is the giant entertainment complex that that are movies. The movie industry seems pretty let's say innervated, and I don't know why. I don't have no insight into that. I think one thing they definitely have messed up entirely. Strong opinion here is they don't have a star system anymore, a celebrity system. That was the fuel, well, maybe half the fuel of the film industry since the 19 teens, is to promote individuals who are the faces, the beautiful faces, for good or for ill, of the movie industry. Stars, celebrities. Who are those people now? They're super old. We don't have hardly anybody who's under the age of 40 who is very well known and loved. And Taylor Swift, she's the movie star now. How crazy is that? She's the one person who like, she's under 40 and she's drawn people to the movie theater. There should be 24 of those. We should know a bunch of these. And when I was young, we knew all the stars. We went to their movies because they were in the movies. I don't understand. That's why people are on TikTok and are going to influencers on YouTube. Because of the charismatic draw of this individual star. Why doesn't Hollywood... I don't understand this at all. So they promoted the heck out of Barbie, and they did this individual movie about Barbie. The stars weren't that big of a deal. And in the past, they would have been. You know, so I don't get that. It's just, to me, money lying on the ground. They could pick up and just promote these people. But they don't do it. And I think they're just a giant corporate system and machine. Although I'm not sure about that. I mean, I don't have any personal insight or intel into that to know. But they're promoting franchises. They're promoting comic book movies. And they're not promoting individual stars, which is really what I think they ought to be doing. Because people are drawn to individuals they want to be like. That they are attracted to physically or emotionally or something else. So, there you go. Old man opinion, but I don't understand that. So, movies are dead. If you bring the stars back, they might come back to life. Yeah, I thought Beau was Afraid was very funny. What's my favorite TV series? I don't know. I'm gonna need to rewatch *Halt and Catch Fire* because I'm pretty drawn to that and thinking about it in retrospect. *The Detectorist*, my wife and I love. Um, I get to ask this question a lot. *Deadwood* is definitely the best show I've ever seen. Certainly in terms of writing and characterization. *Deadwood*. So try that. 200 Watt Studio. Will you be doing a Barnes & Noble Criterion sale recommendation? Oh, gosh. Is that something you want? A recommendation stream? What am I even going to tell you? Like, I'm going to have like 500 to recommend. I mean, Criterion and Barnes & Noble occasionally, and they're doing it right now, as of November 9th, 2023, half off sale. They do this a couple times a year, and then Criterion on their website will do a half off sale a couple times. They just had a flash sale, a 24-hour flash sale about a month ago, which sucked up a lot of my my money in my wallet. So I'm not going to do the Barnes & Noble. Although I want to buy, and Barnes & Noble doesn't have this, the Aki Kaurismäki, the Finnish director, all his stuff. They don't have a couple of things that I wanted, so I'm probably not going to do it. But next time Criterion has a sale, I'm going to get his everything by him. And again, I strongly recommend buying discs because who knows if you'll ever find them again. And some of them, honestly, go up in value. Not that you're going to invest in them. Not that you're going to buy to invest in discs, but they go up in value. So I don't know. I'll kick around that sale recommendation. I think that's interesting. All the under 40 stars are in the Marvel movies. And then half of them are in makeup that I can't even tell what their face is. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I went to that and like, and maybe this is sexist on my part, but I really believe this. Where are the beautiful women at? Which honestly has been the one of the major draws for Hollywood, and for Hollywood to be the gigantic cultural force affecting the entire world. I mean, beautiful women. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy is a superhero alien thing, right? But all the women that had heavy makeup, and there's only one person who looks like a human. It's Chris Pratt. So maybe that's the draw for juveniles. No, I'm not saying that word in a bad way, like young people. Where are the starlets at? I don't know. Taylor Swift, once again, that's a starlet. Seriously. So maybe things have to change that way. But I bet. If here's A24. A24 should do this, is promote their stars and see what happens if they want to get more money. See, try it out. I'm going to take a couple of people who are beautiful and try to promote them. See what happens. Yeah, there have always been bad movies. Yes, if you go back to 1939 and look at after the top 20 in 1939, which had Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, blah, 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 you will find so much crap, it's unbelievable. You do not want to watch the 90% of movies that are bad. Now okay, Orson Welles' The Trial. You want a Criterion sale recommendation, get that. Why? Because that has not been on high-resolution disc ever until about a few months ago. I don't know when Criterion released it, but The Trial. Now, you may not love it. You may not care for the movie. I love Wells. I love this adaptation of the novel. I think it's fascinating in a lot of ways. At least the shot making is. You can't go wrong there. But I would get that. So that I would have it. And that strikes me as one that might go out of print eventually. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, this is a good time in the chat. Yeah, I agree. Ari Aster, I've been watching him, and Chazelle to a lesser degree. I'm probably not into his style, but I do agree. Like, there's a bunch of directors who are younger. Now, the stars are a different thing, but the directors at least. And they have potential. And what they've done is they love movie history. They seem to. And they seem to be somewhat thoughtful about all kinds of topics, cultural topics. So to me, Astor proved his worth in the last movie, Beau's Afraid. I know that movie's not for everybody. Anyway, who the heck is Rachel Ziegler? Why do I not know who that is? I should look her. I'll look her up later. But anyway, Criterion sale recommendations. This is the last question. So the trial, I would buy Repo Man because most of my audience is younger males. Watch Repo Man. The cover is cool. Short movie, science fiction, very cool, quotable, rich, fascinating, interesting, great filmmaking. Music's good. Can't go wrong. Repo Man. And then, of course, by Come and See, which everyone seems to love. You may hate it, but if you hate it, you can sell it. And on a giant screen, as big a screen as you can get, Come and See watches differently. So those are 3, and that's going to cost you $60. There you go. Enjoy. I know, keep Barnes & Noble in business. I know they're a giant corporation, but I think their heart's in the right place in general with their promotion of books and physical objects. And I think their store experience is pretty good. So I enjoy going into Barnes & Noble to some extent. I prefer old bookshops, but if I have to go in a big box store, Barnes & Noble ain't bad, in my opinion. So how's that for promoting a corporation here? They don't pay me any money to advertise. They should. All right, that's enough. Before my kidney stone explodes, which it's not. But I really enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Check out my repicking the Oscar video, the best Oscar from 1980. I'm going to do one for 1981 next month and just keep going. It's kind of fun. So this is a good, and eventually I'll do a best of the 1980s video. I'll do underrated movies from the 1980s, hidden gems. There's all kinds of things I can do with this sort of project. There's like 10 things. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's kind of fun. Anyway, thank you all. You all great people. Thanks for the comments. See you later.